Hi, and welcome to Prepping Essentials.
Good morning, it's 6 o'clock on Saturday the 9th of April. Just making my way to the land, and as always, not quite sure what we're going to get done today, but let's find out. Well, here we are down on the land. It's a cool morning again this morning. Can you hear the geese kicking a fuss up across the other side of the road there? You might be able to see the frost on the grass, I'm not sure. Sun is trying to peek out though. A fair bit of rain as well this week. Nice, because it'll keep those water tanks topped up. But hopefully not today. A few bits and pieces I want to be doing outside today if I can. And if the sun comes up and stays up, it'd be really nice to have a look at the beehive. But first things first, let's get in the cabin, get opened up, probably get some heating on, and I'll catch up with you shortly. First things first, as usual, sort the chickens out. And as usual, I've got a little red one demanding attention. You would think they've never been fed the way they go at this mixed seed and corn. It's nice to see them happy though. That was my finger. Right, let me get these sorted out. Check the coop, see what eggs we've got, and get in the cabin for a warm up. Well, it doesn't take long for the chickens to make a complete mess of the coop. There's plenty to clear out, so I'll just make sure they can't get back in again, and we'll get that all cleared out. Messy chickens. Well, there we go. That's nicely cleaned out. It is a laborious job, this. But it does need doing. So, I think they're all wanting to get back in to lay some eggs. So, I'll top the water up, tidy up quickly, and they can kick back and relax. Got some greenery because it is the weekend. I'll pop that in later. Well, good morning. It's the weekend again. I do look forward to the weekends, I really do. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, hope you're staying safe and well and enjoying your weekend. I keep glancing out across the garden room there to check on the progress of the sun. Weather's been, it's been odd for about a year or so now. It seems that it's going to continue in that vein through this year. We've had all kinds of unusual weather. I mean, it's coming out of winter into spring, so you expect a little bit of disruption. But we've had quite unexpected gales. We've had rain this week, we've had frost, not every morning, but most mornings. And again, this morning I was scraping ice off the car windscreen to come down to the land. And it's not just here, it's all over. And we've talked in previous videos about weather and the impact of the weather on food. And food really is the main theme of the cabin chat today, though as usual I might stray a little bit from topic. So yeah, weather has been a bit strange, and I noticed an article on the news. The American Weather Agency is warning, it does tracking at this time of year of hurricanes across the Atlantic, trying to figure out how strong, how many and where these are going to land on US mainland. And they're seeing record numbers of hurricanes building up over the Atlantic. So it looks like it's going to be another year of weather which will impact on global food production. And with all of the other stuff that's been going on over the last couple of years with COVID, with the weather, and more recently with supply chain disruption, and there's no escaping the military conflict between Russia and Ukraine, there's going to be massive impact. And I just really wanted to emphasise that point during the cabin chat today. There's lots of things that have been building up over the last couple of years that are definitely going to impact on food supply this year. Media's already picking up on rising food prices, and I popped a little screenshot and a link to a news article in the community tab. I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday, can't remember. I'll put a little a screenshot in the video just to remind people, and if you've not seen that, then you can go back into the community tab and take a little look. It was from the United Nations World Food Programme, and they were just highlighting that it's not just this war in Ukraine that everything seems to be getting blamed on by government as an excuse as to why things are in such dire straits as they are. Don't buy into that. This has been coming for a long time, and we've talked endlessly on the channel about it, as indeed have lots of other YouTube commenters. So they're saying that food prices globally are at record levels, not just, you know, a 2-year high, a 5-year high, ever since records started being kept. The prices are at record levels and look set to continue and increase as we go through this year. So really, I just wanted to remind everybody of the urgency of looking at ways by which you can become less dependent on the global food supply chain. And if you can, then take a look at doing what I'm doing and trying to produce as much as you can of your own, whether that's fruit and vegetables, or whether that's eggs and meat from chickens, or indeed meat from other sources. You don't have to go and buy a herd of cows and have 40 acres of field for them to pasture in. You can go small scale with chickens, with rabbits. You can do a bit of hunting for rabbits, squirrels, pigeons, pheasants, whatever happens to be in season or available in your area. But do try and reduce your dependency. And it's not just that food supply will be becoming more scarce and difficult to get hold of, particularly out of season things. We in the UK depend a lot on other countries when our normal food production is out of season. We do produce the majority of our sort of staple vegetables like potatoes, carrots. We have no problem with those, and indeed over winter periods when it's out of season, farmers store them away, as indeed I was just talking about recently with my experiment of storing potatoes and carrots through this past winter. And on the subject of that, I might just do a little video clip of what remains of my potato stores in the old cabin there. So yeah, try and produce as much as you can, but also consider the impact of inflation and price rises on the food that you buy. If you haven't started storing away canned goods, then start storing away canned goods. You're not going to get them at these prices. And if you think that these prices today are excessive, just wait, because they're going to get more excessive. So whether it's availability or whether it's price, I would urge people to start looking at what they can do to build up stores of staple foods, dry bulk grains, you know, your beans, your rice, and canned goods, whether that's canned vegetables or whether that's, more important I guess, your proteins, your canned meats, your canned fishes. There's loads of videos on the channel. If you scroll back through, you'll see endless videos. And one thing I will do, before I digress onto other topics, once I'm into the new house, I think I've mentioned a few times, one of the main things I was looking for in a house was somewhere to have a little workshop, somewhere to do YouTube videos, but more importantly, to get a better handle on food storage. You might remember in the old house, I stored things in the roof space, and whilst it was okay, it wasn't great for lots of reasons. Accessibility was difficult, climbing up and down a ladder to get in and out of the roof space. Storage space was limited. I mean, the head height in there wasn't fantastic, but also temperature fluctuations. In a house roof space, you are going to get those fluctuations in temperature. It's going to get probably erring towards too cold in the winter, and in the summer erring towards too hot. And for long-term food storage, you do really want to try and keep a consistency in temperature. I couldn't really do that in the old house, but I will be able to do that in the new one. So something to look forward to once I do get moved in. I'll be doing a lot of videos on food storage and the way that you rotate your stocks out, the difference between a pantry and a long-term food store, ways of storing food, different types of food, so on and so forth. So there's something there to look forward to. In terms of timescale on the new house, it is dragging. Believe me, there's nobody more keen to get in than I am. So apologies for whatever disruptions I might have to video content that I'm putting out recently and probably over the next few weeks. There isn't a great deal I can do about it. I'm in the hands of the lawyers, solicitors, whatever you want to call them. There seems to be an endless supply of paperwork that needs to be filled in and returned, but that the lawyers or the solicitors spend endless amounts of time shuffling around between my lawyers and the seller's lawyers. It's extremely frustrating, but you just have to bear with it, don't you? In terms of what's going to be happening today, there's a few things I want to do out in the polytunnel, perhaps also in the raised beds. Chicken coop, as usual, needs cleaning out. It's not been done for a few weeks, and because of the time of the year and the weather, they're making more mess than usual, whether that's their own mess or whether it's the mud that they're dragging out from the pen and bringing back into the coop. So that needs sorting out. A couple of little jobs in and around the cabin, trying to still tidy up from all the materials I dumped when I moved house. I noticed that I'm getting low on supplies for the wood burning stove, so I'll be chopping a bit of wood up. There is a bit of disruption today. I've got a friend visiting. If you watch this, hi Kevin. He's flown in from Switzerland. Really old and valued friend, known for years and years and years and years, but because of his job and my job, historically, it's always been difficult to meet up. He's permanently based overseas, so whenever we get the opportunity, if I'm flying somewhere or he's flying somewhere, we try and make the time, as friends should, to meet up, even if it's just for a quick coffee for an hour and a chat. And today is one of those days, so I'm keeping an eye on the time. I've got to disappear off about 9:30 this morning, go and meet him in his hotel, and he really wants to come. He's never been to the cabin and the land, so he's really keen to come and have a look. so I'll be giving him the guided tour. So there is a bit of disruption today, so if the content is short, apologies, but it's in a good cause. If you've got good friends, hang on to them, because they are very, very valued. So yeah, I'm going to get this coffee down me. We'll do a little quick run around the garden room and the polytunnel, so you can check on progress with the various plants I've got coming on. I might be tempted to plant some more today. We'll see how we get on with time. One other final point, thank you very, very much to everyone who's been popping comments in the comment section of the videos recently. There's been a certain uptick in the number of comments. I noticed that lots of you are, apologies I can't run through the names of all the people that have commented, but I noticed that a lot of you are getting on now with your planting. Nice to see that lots of people in different countries around the world are getting started with food production for themselves this year. So do keep me updated as you go through your planting season this year. I am always interested to see what people are doing, and if you've got any tips and tricks, they are always welcomed, not by just myself but by other people that view the channel. So do take the time to share what you're doing, because you never know, some people that watch the video and comment or look at the comments, you might be able to help them out as well, not just me. So let me get cracked on, get this coffee down me. I'll keep up with you as I go through today's video, but as I said, there is going to be a bit of disruption today because I'm going to be definitely making a bit of time for my friend, since he's come a long way to visit. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, stay safe and well, and I'll catch up with you later in the video. On the theme of today, with the subject of food, I called in at the farm shop and picked up another couple of bags of layers pellets for the chickens. Just going to pop those across to the cabin. But interesting to note, these bags, which are 20 kilos, they have been for the last few years around about £8 per bag. Now they've gone up to £10.75 per bag. And I was talking to the chap in the farm shop, and he said that his suppliers had told him that all kinds of grains, including processed things like this for chicken feed, are becoming more and more difficult and more expensive to find. So it's worthwhile, just as you do with your normal food stores, for you, just topping up on any foods that you might need for your various animals that you have, because prices are dramatically going up, and according to the guy who sells it, shortages are coming, so get topped up. Well, regular viewers will know that back in November and early December last year, I harvested the last of the potatoes, and I've been dipping in and out of these boxes every now and again as I've run out of shop bought potatoes. Just to supplement, I've been pulling them out of these boxes, but I stopped doing that and deliberately left some in, and they've been in, I've not looked at these for over a month now, but hopefully what's remaining of these will come in for planting. Let me just move one of these boxes out of the way so you can actually see. So I just packed them in loose newspaper and brown paper just to keep them warm, dry and out of the light, but I'm hoping that that these have started to chit. And they have. There we go. Some nice strong chits on these. So these are going to come in now for the rest of this year's planting. I'll gradually fill buckets with these. At the moment I'll leave them in the polytunnel, but as the weather improves and we get past the last frost date, I'll move them outside like I did last year, just along the edge of the polytunnel. So really pleased with these. I don't need to worry about hunting down seed potatoes or trying to keep shop bought ones and getting them to sprout. I know now that I can do my own, and I've certainly got plenty of them left. There's loads in here with nice strong chits on them. So there we go. I'll just drop these back in for now, cover them up and pop them back in the other cabin. I'll continue storing those, and then gradually, bit by bit, I'll drop them into the ground in buckets, and we'll be harvesting those at the end of summer this year. Second generation. Excellent. Bit of a non-job this, but it's got to be done if I want to be able to light the fire. Some little bits and some big bits. Well, it is the weekend, so it's greenery time for the chickens, and as usual, the little red ones have decided to demand a bit of special treatment. I'm surprised that they're both there, because normally these two, there's a definite pecking order. Yeah, the other one's disappeared, look. There is plenty there to go at though, so don't feel that one's been left out. It's not. But this one does like a little bit of special attention. Come on, I've got things to do. Get yourself in there and enjoy. And I'll see you all in a little while. Well, the chickens are quite happy there, pecking away with the greenery. I'm just keeping an eye on the time. But the sun is making an appearance on the field, and the bit I'm really interested in is the beehive. It is now in direct sun. Look at all these pigeons on here, look at all that. It's no wonder I have issues with my planting. They're everywhere, look. Yeah, I'm keen to have a little look at the beehive today if I can, but it is still, if you can see on the ground here, it is still bloody frosty. But I'm hoping I can get a look inside today. I've also got a little plan for this hedgerow which is connected with the bees, so hopefully you'll see that shortly. Been having issues with these fruit trees. That soil at the bottom is fresh. I've put, I've filled in. The rabbits keep digging holes, so I've filled in the holes. I desperately don't want these trees ruining. They're really getting well established now, really nicely. So much so that this one out on the field, I think I did pop a little picture of this in the community tab. We've actually got flowers on this one. But you can see, look, where they've been digging. Bloody rabbits. Yeah, so hopefully that nice bit of sunshine that's peeking out will continue, and I'll be able to get a bit done today outside. Really, really itching to get inside that hive. But I'll not get ahead of myself. Let's see how the day develops. It is still a little bit too cool. I don't see the bees out yet, but hopefully as the day goes through it'll warm up and we'll be able to take a peek. No promises, just hoping. We keep getting a little bit of intermittent sunshine, so the bees are out and about, which is really nice to see. They're all busy in themselves. I think they're having a bit of a spring tidy up inside the hive. And on the subject of the bees, I thought I'd do a little bit of a non-job really, but all the way down this hedge line there's not a lot apart from grass and hedging, and I thought I'd use some of these buckets with the old compost in from where I grew those cabbages. I've been feeding the cabbages to the chickens. Got bees on the brain. So having moved out of my old house, I took the opportunity to collect some seed. So I've got a mixture of poppies, aquilegias, foxgloves that I saved seed from, and my thought was I'd use this compost and make some little seed balls and just pop them along the hedgerow on either side of the beehive, and hopefully over the summer that'll provide loads of flowers for them. That's the theory anyway. I don't know how well they'll get on under this hedge because it can get a bit dry, but hopefully if I pop them into some soil and set them in, they should take. Poppies will, I'm fairly confident of those. The others I'm not so sure. But anyway, that's what I'm going to do for the next half hour or so. Don't know if you'll be able to see where I've been or not, but I've popped in little patches all the way around the edge of the boundary for the field here, and hopefully that'll work. And once the wildflowers are established, things like poppies and foxgloves, they spread themselves. They'll self-seed every year, and hopefully the numbers will multiply. Every time the sun comes out from behind the clouds, there's a sudden flurry of activity at the hive. I really am itching to get inside that. I just don't know if I dare. I don't really want to disturb them when it's cold. We'll see. Just mixing in a bit of blood, fish and bone into these barrels, ready for planting potatoes. I'll be using the ones that I've been storing over winter, so hopefully we'll get those started off. We'll have a really good crop this year. Got some really nice chits on these, so we'll get these buried in, and I think we'll do progressive planting through the layers rather than letting them grow and then banking up. I think we'll just plant these in layers as we go. Well, that's the 3 barrels planted up with potatoes. The plan with these 3 is get them in now. 12 weeks or so we'll be able to harvest, and then I'll be able to re-sow again, hopefully, to get a winter crop. I did promise you a quick run round, so let's have a little look, see what's going on. We're all still very early yet in the planting season, but some quite nice results. The cabbages are gradually disappearing as I feed them to the chickens. These sweet potatoes don't seem to be doing anything. I think it's just too cold for them, but we'll see how we get on. Everything else is looking good. Fig tree, lots of nice growth. Blueberries putting out flowers already, which is nice on all of them. Fruit trees coming on well, and look at this. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful flowers coming on this tree. So yeah, all looking good. Let's have a quick run into the polytunnel. I took the opportunity after I planted those barrels to just do another of those fabric containers in the polytunnel. I've still got some potatoes left that are chitting, and I'll just hang on to those for a while for a bit of succession planting. It's warming up in here. So what have we got? We've got carrots, 3 buckets so far, with a load more ready to go. I might be tempted to seed a couple more of those before I leave today. Strawberries at the end there, they really need something doing with them. I'm reluctant though to plant them in those raised beds outside because the rabbits keep digging them up. So I might make a big raised planter out of pallets. There's always something, isn't there, that you want to do. All of these running all the way along the polytunnel are potatoes. That's the latest one I did today, and again we've got a few more little buckets just waiting to go. But in kind of order of planting, starting with the most recent, we've got sprouts coming through on these, which is nice. This is for peas or for cucumbers, I haven't decided yet. The peas that I started off in seeds are not doing very well. These are the true potato seeds I planted last year, got some tubers, very, very small ones. So I'm replanting those tubers this year to see what happens with those. They will be brand new varieties of potatoes because they've come from potato seed. So they're not a clone from a tuber that I've planted. Another bucket sprouting, another bucket sprouting. And then the first ones are planted, doing really well. Lots of growth on these, despite the best efforts of the frost. So all the way down we've got some really nice healthy growth. So potatoes, the seed trays not doing very well. Peas, we've got a couple that have germinated, but not many. Didn't have much success with those last year either. A bit disappointing. I'm convinced it's the seed. The broccoli and cauliflower, again, not very many coming through, but we have got some. And similarly at this far end here, these are looking quite strong. I think it is pot luck this time of the year as to whether the temperature's sufficient for them to germinate or not. Then last but not least, we've got beetroot in this one. Again, not many germinated, there's only a few here. Another one there. But as I said, it is early, so we'll see how we get on with those. And that's pretty much it really for planting. I have got a couple more trays there ready to go. Again, I might be tempted to put some in, or I might wait, I don't know yet. I guess you'll find out as we go through the videos today and next weekend. Outside in the raised beds, bit early for those onions that I planted to see any signs of life on those. I don't see anything yet in there. Despite the best efforts of the rabbits, the strawberries are through on this raised bed. This one's got a combination of onions and garlic. We have got garlic coming through, quite a few garlic coming through actually, which is encouraging to see. A bit early still for the onions. Rabbits have been at this barrel. I don't know how they're getting in there and jumping up to dig in. It's really bizarre. And similarly on this raised bed, strawberries coming through on there as well. It is potluck with these though, because the rabbits do get in. I'm going to have to at some point put an extra row of finer mesh around this fencing. I really did think that this was small enough. I mean, if you look at my hand, you know, they're not big gaps, but clearly they are still getting through. Somebody did comment in the comment section on the previous video that the rabbits can get through a hole the size of their head. So I'm guessing with all of the baby ones that have floated around from the breeding season, that's what's happening. They're crawling through. Fruit trees, looking very nice. These are actually starting to bud, if that will focus. Don't know if it will or it won't. Come on. Yeah, there you go. So they're budding as well. Other one not quite so as advanced. It's leafing, but no sign of flower buds yet. But I'm just grateful that they are establishing themselves, which is all we want. Nice bit of sunshine across the field there now. I have got a little job to do over there, so I might get that done now. I'm going to have to disappear off to meet my friend, but hopefully I'll be back later, and if it's warmed up enough, I might take a little look inside the hive. Fingers crossed. Well, it's not ideal. The sun's now stubbornly behind some clouds, but we have had some sun, and I think it's sufficiently warm, and the bees are busy in and out. So I'm going to take the chance today, because I have no clue what it's going to be like next week. So I'll pop the camera on the tripod and we'll have a little look inside the hive. Hopefully you'll get a bit of a decent view. It might be a little bit difficult getting inside because it's not been open for a while, but let's have a look. That's the food that I put in for over winter. Hopefully that's been beneficial for them. Must remember to get the little covers for these. I've left them in the cabin because they've been off all winter. You know, they've not been in this top set of frames at all, so I'm quite okay taking that off. There's the odd little bee in there, but they've not started filling that up. Different story here. That was a little bit sticky. Got to try and separate these frames. They're all stuck together. Awful lot of activity inside here. I know you can't necessarily see it on the video. But these frames are quite tightly stuck together. Just trying to ease them apart. Oh, they're not happy with that. Oh dear. Move away. Wherever I put this tool, the bees decide that's where they want to be. Right. Let's try and pull these back. I don't want this to be open too long. Let's see if I can get one of these fruit frames out. There we go. Yeah, not much happening. They're still working on that front frame. Let's pop this down here. Oh, this is quite heavy, this one. Yeah, they're just busy filling in this second frame. But they are working away inside there. Don't see the queen. I'm still way too inexperienced to be able to spot the queen quickly. Oh, don't get excited. Don't get excited. Calm down. They really are quite sensitive. And I understand why, because I'm interfering inside the hive. They've been quiet all the way over winter, and all of a sudden this strange guy has appeared. Oh, I can see pollen on this one, you see. I wonder if you'll get it on the camera or not. They've been out collecting. A lot of activity on the back of there. Hope you can see this on camera. Okay, steady away. Everything's looking very clean, which is what I was worried about. They've obviously spending a bit of time now tidying up. Lots of cells closed off there on that frame. Yeah, they're definitely wide awake now. I'll just quickly pop the camera so you can see inside. I'm hoping you can see that. It's looking very nice. So before they get too angry with me, I'll pop everything back. Just take a quick little look. Yeah. No, I'm very, very happy with what I'm seeing. Everything looks in clean, tidy, good condition. And they're all busy working away on the frames. So very happy with that. My mind's at rest now. I know that there's been no disaster over winter. Yeah, very happy with that. Come on, get down. I'm trying to get them all off the top so that I can put this queen excluder on top without squashing them. Come on, in you go. Okay. Right, I'll come back for these covers. I just need to nip in the cabin and pick them up. That's just an empty frame, nothing on that. Okay, very nice, very happy. Well, I'm really pleased that I took the time to look inside the hive. Looking real nice and tidy inside there, no signs of any disease or die off. There'll be the odd casualty caused by me, because you try your best not to squash any, but invariably there will be a couple that get squashed in the process. If Simon's watching, what do you think, Simon? How's it looking inside? You're the expert. And drop me a little comment if you've spotted anything that I should be aware of in there. And also, let me know when you think it would be good in terms of timing to try splitting this hive. It'd be nice to get another one up and going this year. Anyway, need to have a quick tidy up, sort the cabin out. My friend has had his visit and is now on his way back to the airport. Nice catching up with him. So if you watch this video, thanks for your time, Kevin. Appreciate it. Always happy to see you, mate. But I'm going to get out of this suit, get tidied up, and it'll be home time. I think I've timed that well because there's some black clouds starting to roll in. Right, I've just beaten the rain. So, very pleased. Well, that's it for another day. It's good timing as well. The wind's picked up and it's spitting with rain. So, I've really timed everything to perfection today. Really, really pleased. Everything's looking nice and tidy. Very pleased to have had the chance to pop and see the bees. It's been bugging me for weeks. I've been itching to get inside just to put my mind at rest that everything was okay with them, which clearly it is. So that's great. Get myself back in the car before I start getting too wet. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, hope you're having a good weekend, staying safe and well, and I'll catch up with you in the next video.
Well, that's it for this video. I hope there was something in there that was of interest to you. If you did like the video, please do click on the like button. Also feel free to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. As always, I welcome any comments, questions or suggestions you might have. Just feel free to leave them in the comments section below. But for now, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.